Hi, everybody. Whew. It took me a little bit to get on. When people message me, it pushes me back, like I can't, but hopefully my Do Not Disturb is intact now, because it really turns my bandwidth upside down. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple seconds to get logged in. I'm going to get up and get my tea. Oh, it's been quite a wonderful day. I designed Stampin' Bingo, which is going to be on September 3rd. If you don't know what bingo is, I'm going to tell you. It's fabulous. But I play it a little bit different. I call it Not Yo Mama's Bingo because you get 3 playing cards and that's all you have to match. So you don't have to do the 25 variable looking for the letter thing. It's much easier. We have winners quicker and we can spend more time crafting. So it's a Zoom session. And my friend Cheryl and I will be hosting that on September 3rd. Would you like to see a sneak peek of the packet? Hang on, I'll grab it. Oh my gosh. So they are finished. So in the next day or so, I'm going to be emailing this out. I can show you when we flip the camera. It's very cute. And it's going to come in a box this time, like this. So I'm very excited. So tonight we have a really fun class. And I did this with my team. My measurements are still in the back. About a month, may have been 2 months ago that I did this with my team as a team meeting, and they loved it so much. It was my top selling team meeting. So my team meetings every month, they can purchase a packet for a small fee. I think it's $11 now. And they get the cards that you can get tonight free with an order. I put a packet together for them that looks like this. And if you place a $35 order using my host code, I will send you the same packet I sent them. If you bump it up to $55 instead of just a little strip of the embellishments, I will use the host code to get you a full package, because who doesn't like extra bling? So, shout out to everybody that's here. If you don't mind, you could tell me where you're from. That would be really helpful to me. I'm going to flip the camera and we can get rolling. So just let me know where you're from. Oh, Stormy, Montana. Oh, Mary Ellen, I hope everything's okay and that you're not dealing with storms. But I can see your comments now, so that's good. And I'm just going to flip the camera and get moving. So let's get crafting. All right, here. I'm going to... I flipped the camera the wrong way. Yeah, there we go. I need 1 second, and I will put yourselves in a clip. Okay. So as you know, we're going to go from start to finish on these projects. And when you place a $35 order, in addition to the packet you would get in the mail, I would email you with the 4 card directions and the complete supply sheet, which is really helpful, but I can put it right here, and if you're watching it on the replay, you can just do a screen capture to get the complete supplies, no problem at all. So we are using the sketched butterflies and boho blue classic stamp pad, Night of Navy classic stamp pad, Wink Estella. You know, I'm kind of looking at my Wink Estellas, and they are both, when you hold them up to the light, they are looking like I might need a new one. So hopefully I can get through without getting another one. But if I have to, I'll go dig in my cupboard. So is there anybody that hasn't stamped before? If you haven't stamped before, please let me know, because I'm going to start from the beginning like you're a brand new person and you've never stamped. Just to kind of give you an idea, these are blocks and they come in multiple sizes. And these are our stamps, and of course the dies that I've used to cut your packet are ready. And these are all this is the side of stuff that we used for the workshop, and these are the ones that I've used but didn't use this time. So I'm just going to stick these on the block, and they come sticky. They have a sticker that comes with them that's intended to go on the back, but I don't use them. I ignore the sticker. And when I put my words on the block, I try and just get them straight on the block. So if you ever come to class with me in person, you could know that the block is going to be straight. So if you line the block up with the paper, your words will be straight. On this one, the letters need to be straight, these, and then the scripty birthday needs to be crooked, if you know what I mean. This doesn't look like I have a block. Oh, there we go. It's like, where's my blocks? Here we go. So we got this guy, and we have this guy, our little flyers, and the thinking of you, because I put this out. So again, the of is going to be straight, and the thinking of is going to be on the angle. That took me a while to get used to. And then when I'm all done, I can clean these using our mist or the chamois and get all the ink off of them before I put them away. And this is an extra block, and I'll explain that in a bit why we need it, but we do. So I'll put that to the side for a minute. When I bundle up my dies now, I usually put an elastic band around the die and stick it with the stamp set on my shelves, because now Stampin' Up! Is calling the dies the same thing. So the Sketched Butterfly stamp set is now it also has the Sketched Butterfly dies. So I know that set goes together. It's been a huge help since they changed that. Okay. All right, so first one we're gonna make is this one. And this is the one with the cool acetate feature. And let's dig in. Okay. So I'm going to take from the blue cardstock up, the boho blue cardstock, and I'm going to put my little rhinestones to the side. These are iridescent rhinestones. They're so pretty and sparkly. Okay. And I'm going to pull out my bone folder. And put the rest of the packet off to the side. So this card's kind of special. There are two pieces that measure 5.5 by 4 7/8. And we scored at 4.5, I mean 4 1/4 on the short side. So it'll make it 5.5 by 4 1/4, which is your standard card size. And the score mark is here. I don't know if you can see it. But what you do is you fold it towards the hump. So if I'm away from the divot side. And that's because if you were to fold it the other way, that side is already standing up. I don't want the side that stands up. I want to kind of push that in, because that would be the thing that would stand up and look frayed if you were going to have any piece look fuzzy. It would be the part that, see how there's like a little hump in there? That's the part that will hide in the inside of the card. I always fold towards the hump, if that's helpful. Hey, Pat. Oh, your daughter's wedding colors. That's fabulous. My wedding colors ended up being midnight blue. So this is navy. My wedding dresses, the bridesmaids were a shade darker than that. I wanted like a midnight green, but when we got there, the only thing they had was like a garden green, and it didn't look good on any of the girls, so I put the kibosh on that. You see how these two pieces fit together? So that's where the magic is in this. No, nothing super, super difficult. I'm gonna grab the stamping mat though, because I forgot, and I wanna make sure that I get a good image. These are Stampin' piercing mats. So they were originally intended to be used with a piercing tool for creating designs, you know, like you poke a hole and you use a template. But they really work well for what we're doing here. And I always have a piece of black paper and a piece of white paper to protect my pad, but also so that I can see better. So I'm going to say that this is going to be the front of my card, and it's going to open this way. okay? And I want to create a background. But before I do that, I want to stamp my birthday. So this is the Knighted Navy ink pad. And I'm going to close this like it's going to be when it's when we're done. And I'm going to line this up. Let's see. It's still not perfectly straight. I want it to be perfectly straight on the block. And tap, tap, tap. I know I'm outside the frame. I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm all thumbs here. But I'm going to stamp the birthday about there. Okay? So now that that's on there, I'll move the table a little. There. Hopefully you can see better now. Oh, look at that. All that room now. And here's my butterflies. So I'm going to make a background for my butterflies. And I'm not going to necessarily stamp on top of the words, but don't be afraid to stamp right off the paper and onto your scrap paper. You can write right over that if you need to, of course, but it's just a cool background. And then I'm going to hold that flat again. And see how there's no butterflies off the edge? I want there to be. So I'm going to go in and hit the edge. And then one here. Now, as much as this is the top of my card and it's going to be the front, with some glitter, this one is going to be the bottom, but it's going to be bottoms up. So I want to, when I stamp the bottom, have that flap going up this time. And I'm putting a outline, in border on the inside, so I only need to go around the outside for this one. Just enough so you can make it look like it's stamped all the way around, but it really isn't. And this is the boho blue. Okay. Ta-da. So we're going to grab some tear and tape, and this is where our magic happens. So tear and tape is pretty cool. I've seen people cut it with scissors, but it'll just make your scissors like sticky if you do that. So I would recommend actually tearing it. I put it down to where I want it to end, and then I'll tear up. So I use my fingernail and just leave it down and tear. So it tears real nice, so that's nothing to be worried about. And then I'm going to kind of figure out where I'm going to put my butterfly. So I have this piece of acetate. You know, I know you probably can't see through it, but the window sheet is cut down to 3 by 3 1/4 inch. And so I'm going to probably put it on this side. So I'm going to make a little mark there. This is the area where it's going to have, it's going to be glued twice, okay? So, I need my take your pick tool. The little spatula in this is the easiest way to get the tear and tape up. This goes for, I don't know if you guys saw the haunted house I put together yesterday. I showed it on my live earlier. Chris DeBloy already picked up a couple of them. You push it under the middle like this and pull. So that particular house comes with tear and tape, but you also definitely need hot glue gun. And I know Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them, but you need one to put it together. And if you like your fingerprints, low heat. If you're going to buy one, make sure you go low heat. So I'm gonna use this as a place marker, and I'm gonna put my little acetate piece in there, okay? And again, that's gonna be the front. And then I'm going to pull the bottom in. And now the front was just a tack, so it's sticky on this side. This one is the one with all the sticky strip, or the tear and tape. Sticky strip is what we used to call it back in the day. So now I'm just gonna sandwich those together. And now our card is back to a standard card front size. It is 5.5 by 4 1/4 again. All right. So next up, what did I do? Oh, I covered up my ink pad. Hey, Tracy. Good to see you. Oh, it's nice Tuesday night. My husband was supposed to be playing cribbage tonight, and he decided not to at the last minute. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to be working, so I don't know what you're doing. So he went up the street because the place where I host karaoke has a car show on Tuesday. So he's up there checking out all the cars while I'm here live. He was helping me put the bingo packets together. Oh, I didn't show those to you, huh? I will. They're fabulous. As soon as they're all put together, probably within the next day, I'll release that via email. So if you're not on my email list, right here in the group, there's a link to sign up to be on my email list so you don't miss a thing. So that's one butterfly. So what am I doing? I've got this big block, and I'm inking up my butterfly backwards so that it fits the die cut that I've cut for you perfectly. So if you get this packet in the mail, your butterflies are already cut for you. They're fabulous. And this butterfly is kind of special. It's the same on both sides. So because it's the same on both sides, I can stick them together around the acetate. So let's grab the Wink of Stella and add a little bit of love. I'm telling you, Wink of Stella, it's very hard to go wrong. I'm going in where the artist made the dark marks, and it's all sketchy, and now it's just beautiful. And then once I do that, I'm going to get rid of some of the ink. I didn't add any extra ink, and I'm going to make it lighter in the middle because you don't want it to be completely colored in either. You want it to have variance in the color. So that's that. This is going to be easier to look at if I flip this over, I think. There's a lot of butterflies there. So there's the first one, and then this will be the back side. So I'll do the same thing again. I'm going to run my Wink of Stella through. So magical. And in person, it just lights up. It's so sparkly and fun. Okay. If you've ever been to a class with me, I think I use it on everything. And I think my stamp got off a little bit, but that's fine. See, if that happens to you, you can just kind of add it in. Okay. So now, let's get a little adhesive on this. I'm going to use Seal Plus. And this will stick perfect to the acetate. But I'm going to put it on both sides so that it'll stick to the acetate on both sides, right? Okay, so when the person opens the card, this butterfly is going to fly out like that. And then the back is open. So because this butterfly is the same on both sides, I can stick two together, and this can be the back. So if you have one that kind of stamps better than the other, put the one that's not perfect on the back because they won't see it, right? It's going to be like this. Okay, so that's the inside to start, and then we have this big white piece for people to write on. Oop. If you ever have that happen, it's because you're pushing too hard. I got a little excited there, and I pushed a little bit harder than I should have, and the paper rolls right up into the Seal Plus. Can I say? I love stamping with you guys, so I am a little excited. It's so quiet in here, though. Like, my daughter's gone, my husband's gone, so quiet. She's out playing cribbage tonight. We have a league here at a bowling alley near the house, and a friend asked her if she would substitute. The last time she subbed, she beat the person that asked her to sub tonight. All right, so that's the inside. What do you guys think so far? You having fun? You think you could make one of those? So again, the two bases were 5.5 by 4 7/8, and then I scored it at 4 1/4 on both sides. So that's it. Very simple, very cool. All right, so you brighten up so many of my days. I would agree with that. So here we go. I'm going to go in and stamp the sentiment right at the bottom. Just when I think I don't need another butterfly set, they come out with something amazing like this. It's so easy to work with, and the sketched part of it makes the Wink of Stella thing so simple and so fun. So someone thinks that they're getting this really simple card, and then when they open it, it flies up at them. So cool. So, anybody have any big plans for the weekend? On Friday, my husband and I have free tickets to go see Big and Rich, and we even have a free room. So we're going to go stay for the weekend down in Foxwoods. And Gretchen Wilson. I'm really excited. Okay, so that's the stamping part for the outside. Okay, and we just winged it the same way we did the inside. Hey, Denise. Good to see you. You asked if I'd come clean your stamp room. I gotta finish cleaning mine first. Let's see. Hey, Carol. Nice to see you, my dear. Look, I got a smiley face, 2 eyes, and a, well, he's kind of straight-faced, huh? It's okay. Here we go. So this is something I've been doing a lot lately. This designer paper that we're going to put on is only going to 5 1/4. Instead of going all the way across to the end to the 5 1/2 mark. And what it does for me, for my eye, is it almost makes this look like it has another layer. So there is no layer there, but because you stop at the 5 1/4, it looks like you put one. Isn't that funny? Like with your eye, I don't know, for me, it makes the whole layer. It's a fun little cheater that if you want to save on paper a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't even matter about the savings as much as it is like, it's so there anyway, like I see it. And then when you open the card, woof, it flies. So pretty. Okay, so I'm going to stick that to the side for a minute. We'll put our embellishments on at the end, but that's the finished card. And we'll move on to the second one. So this one has a Night of Navy base. So you just take from the Night of Navy up. For those of you that don't know, I do what's called stack stuffing. So the envelopes are all at the bottom, and then I stack it based on the directions, the PDF. So I'll move from the first page onto the second page right now, and this is the cool one I want to talk about next. All right, so in your pack, you have the white for the inside, a whole bunch of strips, this 3 by 3 square, which is totally fabulous, 1/2 inch white strip, a 3/4 inch white strip, a little tiny butterfly, so pretty. Did I not? I didn't set up. Oh no, we did the same sentiment for this one, so that's cool. Here we go. So I'm going to start by sticking these 2 squares together. The Night of Navy measures 3 1/4, and the white measures 3 inches square. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this to the piece that I pre-embossed for you. This is the eyelet embossing folder. So darn pretty. Here we go. Now, I've never done this on a card. This is so cool. Sorry, my instant messenger's going crazy all of a sudden. Somebody's in a group chat, chatting away. My 3 by 3 inch square is going over the edge of my 4 inch layer. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let's go that way so you can see better. But it will fit exactly to the edge of the card. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna get a cleaner real quick so I can clean my stamp. And I need a plastic bag because we're gonna have some fun with this one. Here's my cleaner. So when I'm in a class, I use this cleaner, and this is just a chamois. And I use these cases. You can buy them; they're stamp cases, and they come 4 in a package. So while I'm during the class, I'll clean my stamps with just water, and then at the end of the class, I'll actually use the mist and scrub so that I can condition my stamps, because there's conditioner for the red rubber in that cleaner, our Stampin' Mist. Okay. So this is the guy that I want to stamp again. And here we go. It's in the other color, so I cleaned it, and I want to just get my nose in. I like to be right on top of the stamp so I can see and actually hit it. So I don't know if you saw my hair in there, but that's why I do that. And then we'll just attach this down to that. Now this strip is 4.5 inches long. I mean, sorry, geez, 4 1/4. It's the length of the card, right? And this is 3 inches wide. So this is cool. And I've never done this on a card. If you line this up, the 4 1/4, right to the edge, it will line up edge to edge and fit your card front perfectly. So let's stick that white on to the front. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's like a hairline here. When I scored it, it's like a tiny bit longer on the front here. So I'm gonna flip it over and make that my front so that it's not distracting when I look at the card later. Like I need any help getting distracted. Squirrel. Oh yeah, the Sweet Star set. So Pat is talking about one of the demonstrator pre-orders that she was able to get. We're already looking at the holiday catalog, but I wanted to get through this, and I have one more bingo. So, and then I'll be ready to roll. But I'm gonna send out, for customers who haven't received the catalog, I'll send out a questionnaire to make sure that you have one if you need one. So this is cool. Before I actually stick it down, I want to say it again. This is the 3-inch square, and it goes perfectly 4 1/4 to 4 1/4, right to the edge. So when I stick this down, and I purposely go over, you know, go right to the top of the card, it's going to be dead on center. And it's just fun math. It's card math for me, you know? Oh, you're going to camp for the weekend. Where do you camp, Paula? I miss camping. We haven't been as much this year. It's hard. Alexis got her first job. She's working at Dunkin' Donuts, and she opens. So she gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she has to be to work by 4. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other bit, and I'm going to flip this upside down and put it on top of the die cut, and then I smush it with another block. That transfers the ink like I pressed it against the table, but I didn't actually have to press it against the table. And I told you I was going to go get a plastic bag, and I did that so that I could make a little paint palette. We're going to paint this a couple colors. So this is the boho again, the lighter of the blues. There's only 2 colors that you need if you take this class to go. It's the boho and the Night of Navy. And I'm going to start by making a little paint palette out here and diffuse that boho a little bit so I'm not getting the solid color. Otherwise, I'd just use a marker. And I'm going to color in the center here a different color blue to match the card. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to go right into where the navy is and blend that out. So now my butterfly's all macked out and colored and pretty. And for bonus points, if you can leave some in the middle white, it's going to look even better. Just my opinion. All right, so then we're going to flip that over and throw a dimensional on the back. And that would be a neat trick if I had dimensionals. I had some in my case, but they must have gotten moved. Somebody's stealing my dimensionals. I just have them for my life. All right. So this one just needs 2. Super sweet. I love these. I used this stamp set already at Retreat as one of their make and takes, and now here I am. I can't seem to put it down. It's one of my favorite of the season. And then I put it right off to the side like it's flying away. I did have a piece of white, and I don't know where it is right now, but that's okay because I don't typically put them in until after I've written on them because I almost always mess up what I want to say and have to write it again. So I would, oh, it's over here. I'm gonna not stick it in anyway, and I'll wait and write on it, and then I have 2 sides before I can have to get another piece of paper, right? So I'll stick that to the side, and again, we put 1 sparkling gem on there, and that's the upgrade. So if you spend $35 using this host code, you gotta put the host code in so that I can get the packet to you and get the paper. But if you do $55, you get the embellishment as well. Sorry, I was trying to pay attention to what you guys were talking about. All right, let's move on. Ta-da. It's too quiet in here. Somebody sing me a song. So the next card is a boho base. So I'm going to pull up from the boho. And if you do take this class to go, you can always come and get the video, but I'm going to email the PDF as soon as I see your order come through. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. So tap, tap, tap. And then you lay the butterfly on top. And really the antenna is the most important thing to pay attention to. If you get the antenna, the rest of it's going to be okay. Some people get nervous when they're doing that, but it's really not that difficult. And I would say, like, if you're confident about it and you know, treat it like you're the boss, it'll just happen. Like, you don't have to worry about being crooked. It'll be fine. I know that's funny, but it's like the more you're nervous about something, the harder it is to do, right? Like me in a room talking to myself right now. So if you were going to sing me a song, what song would you sing me to keep me company? That's tomorrow night's job. I'm hosting karaoke tomorrow night. Okay, so there's my butterfly. It's hysterical. And then I'm going to use that to brush off because you're not going to see it anyway. And then I'm going to go back to the beautiful birthday stamp. This has everything that I love. It's whimsical, right? It's got the mixed font, so it's got the clear, beautiful, oh, and of course I stamped it a little crooked. Let me try that again. It's got the beautiful, clear, perfect little font. So here's the deal. If you go to stamp something, I'm going to show you again, right? And you push too hard, it will make this heavy-handed thing, and you might even catch the edge of your stamp. We call that a halo. But when you go to stamp, if you have a stamp that's extra like dainty like this one, and you just go down and up, and you try not to put too much pressure, you still need pressure, but just not too much, the letters will even out and they'll be nice and clean, as opposed to if you push too hard, you get below the surface of the stamp and you catch that like extra stuff on your project. So that's just your little tip of the night. Tip of the hat. Okay, And then I'm gonna throw some dimensionals on this guy. He's so cute. Now this one, I purposely went a little crooked. I love doing that because there's always so much pressure to be straight when you're making a card. If you go crooked on purpose, well, it looks like I was meant to do that. The butterfly's flying, the wind blew. It is on an angle, everything's gonna be okay. I like to do that on purpose, believe it or not, just because it works. And then if you go to look what next one needs to be straight, I pay attention to 3 sides equal at the top. So the same amount of blue here, here, and here, and I completely ignore that navy layer. So I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna put my butterfly on a little crooked too. I don't need him to be straight. I can't wait to go back and put, oh, I didn't put the designer paper down, silly goose. So as you can tell, this is the back side. This is side B of that gorgeous designer series paper with the fruit, Mediterranean blooms. I am gonna lift this because that's gonna bug me. Hopefully I don't destroy my card. Oh yeah, you know it's on there, good. Now there is something on the market called Undo. So if you do that, you can saturate your paper and it will lift and it will be sticky again when it dries. But I didn't put enough adhesive to worry about it. It was just tacked on there, which is good. Okay, let's try that again. And then we'll put my crooked butterfly on there. And it looks good because it's crooked, right? And I might as well bring these in. So I'm gonna do a big one down the bottom. I see a lot of people struggle with the take your pick when picking up embellishments. And what I'll tell you is, first of all, the stuff at the top is not adhesive. It's a putty. It's sort of meant to just be sticky enough to pick up your item. So you don't want a whole lot of putty at the top. But if your putty gets stuck on the side at all, I like to push it all the way to the top and then push down on it. If you do need to advance, you can advance it, but you got to back it off right away or it'll keep coming out like a bad thing of toothpaste. So when I have my embellishment, I like to have it, the shiny parts there. I like to put it on the side and kind of whoosh it off because it's going to stick just enough to pick it up and it keeps it out of my way of my hands. And I'll push it right off the transfer sheet. So you could practice with that. I know there's a lot of people that struggle picking up embellishments with this, but it's really a simple concept. So we did that one. Actually, here, let me go back and add. So this one had 1 rhinestone on this guy. Ooh, I just knocked something on the floor. Hopefully I didn't need that. Oh, it was the inside of my card. I won't need that until I mess up what I want to say. And then this one, I'm going to do a big one for his head. And then 3 little ones. I really love these embellishments. I used them for the catalog kickoff event, and we used them on feminine cards, like frilly cards, but we also used them with the airplane cards. And these little things in the center of the propeller, because of how pointy they were just so brilliant and cool, but they worked for masculine cards too. So fun. Oh, I know. That's what I want to do when I retire too. We want to get a camper and go across the country and go to your stamp classes instead of coming to my stamp classes. All right, the last one is a Thinking of You card. And like I said, here we are at the bottom of the packet, and there's your 4 envelopes in the bottom. So those are included in the kit. And here's what we're going for. It's a simple Thinking of You card. It does have some funky ways that it's, so this again is just for the inside of the card. So I'm going to put that off to the side for a second. Your die cuts are done. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that so much. Okay. I'm just going to stand here and look at it. Alrighty. And then thinking of you. And again, I made my of straight on the block, so this should be flying sideways other than the word of, which is good. That was perfect. And then the order of operations on this is a little different. So let's grab the adhesive and get going. I'm gonna put the eyelet embossed layer down first. And then I'm gonna put the navy blue strip across. And that one is cut edge to edge, so it's a 4 1/4 strip. Then I'm gonna put the boho on, so I'm gonna tuck it between the designer paper, so the designer paper will come out from the sides, so you'll see it. Whoop. There I go, getting excited again. I'm pushing too hard. All right, so here we go, edge to edge. And that lays down on top of the boho. Isn't that pretty? It would. It definitely would. Paula, that's a good idea. That the eyelet emboss would look good as a double boss. Okay. So here's my thinking of you. Now, for this guy, I did put him up on dimensionals, but before I do that, I want to make sure my brush is clean. And of course, I got to paint him with ink. And then I'm going to cut my dimensionals down and just put little tiny bits so that you don't see the dimensionals. So here we go. Let's use the alligator teeth. Where are they? I just had dimensionals on my table. I got up and got them. All right, so one, I'm gonna take the little alligator teeth on the side. Not the big clunky side, but the little, not the giant smile, the little teeth. And then tuck it behind those die cuts. It's still kind of big. I'm gonna cut it in half actually. Because that one in the middle almost has nothing. But I still want to pop it up. You could use minis on these. I just didn't have any on the table, so you can cut them down. I will say the trick to cutting these is to cut them before you take the transfer piece off, because I've seen people take the sticky off, cut it, and then get goobers all over their scissors. If you do get goobers on your scissors, I use a thing called Goo Gone with just a paper towel, and that works really good for cleaning them. I don't like that I can see the dimensional coming out the back of that, so I'm going to rip it off and do it again. And take a half of one. So a half of the tooth. There we go. These little details. That's it. Anybody have any questions for me? This is such a sweet and pretty class. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you loved the flyer, especially. It's definitely something different again. It's a cool concept. No questions? Give you a couple more minutes. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to be with me tonight. I will see you for the live next Tuesday, and please watch out for bingo. Oh, that's what I forgot to show you. Ha! I was going to show you the bingo packages. So the bingo is all designed. The directions are written. I cut the packets today. It's going to be limited to 36 people. and they will be ready to ship very soon. But this is what the package looks like when you get it in the mail. And it won't look like that because you won't get all the samples, right? These are the cards we're making. And you'll need a paper trimmer, your Night of Navy ink pad, this color ink pad. I was such a busy day. Blackberry Bliss, and that's it. So a trimmer, and the stamp set that we used was it's an older one, so you guys probably have it. But I've been going at it since 6 a.m. So this all happened today. So Sincere is the set for that. So if you're placing an order to get the sketched butterflies and you happen to know that you're going to want to sign up for this bingo, the So Sincere is the stamp set that we're using if you want to check your stash and see if you have it. That class is going to be limited to 36 packets. So if you want one, make sure you jump on it right away. Bingo is always huge, especially at retreat. I think everybody in the room usually plays. So this is just telling you that you can find your PDF in your email before the class. These are the kits, aren't they cool? And here's all the extras that you get to build your kit. So we're gonna start by cutting into this, and I'll show you how to cut up your stuff to marry up with the packet that I made you to complete the cards. So it's way fun. And then on top of a class, we play bingo and I give out prizes. What could be better? So anyway, here, let's flip the camera. And I'll just say goodnight. So thank you very, very much for being here. And I wish you all the very best. And I will see you on Tuesday at 3 o'clock for my live, unless I see you at our weekly Zoom, because we'll be on Zoom on Monday night again. So have a great week.